to introduce you to 5 pairs of people. And these people are going to help us with something that's called case. Case refers to how a particular noun functions in a sentence. So let's get started here. Learning and visualizing people for cases. Why are we learning and visualizing some people for the cases? The answer is this. They will help us to learn 24 endings with 8 pictures for the definite article, the word the. And we'll see this in chapter 3. These important endings serve as the clue for so many other parts of speech. In chapter 3, with 1 character in a picture, that will be singular. Also in chapter 3, with 2 paired people in a picture, that will indicate the plural form. At this point in chapter 2, it's important to see how the 2 charts work, the masculine chart and the neuter chart. These are called the nouns of the second declension or grouping. For example here, the dative case is what's called the to case. That's the indirect object. For example, I hit the ball to Joe. To Joe there is the case of indirect object. All right, here are people. Norbert and Nora, nominative. When you just see Norbert in a picture, that's going to be singular. When you see Norbert and Nora, that's going to be plural. All right, the Norbert and Nora nominative serve as a subject of the sentence, and the substitute word here for subject is we use the word subject. They are driving or riding a subjet for subject. Can also be thought of as the naming case. So here we have an example in Greek below, really 2 of them. Anthropos luei, a man looses. Now, anthropos, that's the original vocabulary form. This is identified as a masculine noun. It's singular, and it's in the nominative case. That serves as the subject of the verb. So, a man looses. Lue there, by way of review, is a present active indicative third person singular. So, a man looses. Now, we could switch up the order here, lue anthropos, and still say the same thing. A man looses. What's the key? Well, it will have to do with the particular ending of the noun that will tell us that that's the nominative case. So Norbert, Nora, nominative, that's the subject. We have Gerard and Geraldine, genitive. This is a case of possession. Now, we use the words there in love for the of case. They form the case of possession or of definition. It's called the of case. Now, in terms of possession, we have the Spirit of God. Or definition, a baptism of repentance. The word of repentance tells us what kind of baptism it is. It's a repentance baptism. It's defining the baptism. Demetrius and Demetria dative. This is the to case. One throws a ball to a catcher. That's the to case. Now, there are some other prepositions used with the dative case, and they're in, with, by, or for, and that is determined by the particular context of a sentence. So here's a Greek sentence here. Adelphos graphe anthropo. Now, adelphos is a masculine singular nominative. That's the subject. Graphe, present active indicative, third person singular, and anthropo is a masculine singular dative ending. That's the to case. So a brother writes to a man. We have the Armitage and Amelia accusative. This is the completing case. For example, in the English sentence, we could say, I hit. And yes, that's a complete sentence, but it's somewhat incomplete. What did I hit? I hit the wall, or I hit the ball. That's more complete. The direct object is the completing case. Armitage, the lawyer, has just completed his case at City Hall. So here's the Greek here. Adelphos, lue, anthropon. Adelphos is a masculine singular nominative. That's your subject. Lue, present active indicative, third person singular. Anthropon, this is a masculine singular accusative. That's the direct object. And finally, we have Victor and Victoria vocative. This is the case of direct address. It's the calling case. Here, Victor demands respect, even to be addressed as sir. Generally, the vocative case is easily identified by its position in the sentence and sometimes a little particle omega there, which precedes it, as in o Theophile, O Theophilus. Here, Theophilus is being directly addressed. So let's go back through and review these one more time. Norbert, Nora, nominative. They're writing as subject for the word subject. Gerard and Geraldine, case of possession. They're in love, to remind us of the word of. Refers to possession or definition. Demetrius and Demetria, dative, indirect object. This is the to case. And just to remind you of these other three prepositions, in, with, by, and for. And then we have Armitage and Amelia accusative. This is the completing case. This is the case of the direct object. And finally, Victor and Victoria vocative. It's the case of direct address, the calling case. For example, Jesus says to a woman, daughter, be of good cheer. Daughter there is in the vocative case. He's directly addressing her. Now, by way of summation, for now, just recognize the meaning of the 5 cases and use the chart for identifying the gender, number, and case for translation. The characters help us remember the meaning of the cases. Then, these characters will help us remember the all-important endings for the definite article that we'll see in Chapter 3. And this chart is not only important for the noun system, but there are going to be other parts of speech that are going to use the case system as well. So, the 5 cases and what they mean, and then in Chapter 3, we'll discover the endings for the definite article, which will help us with the noun, which will also help us with the adjective. Thanks so much.